Hey folks, welcome to the Cigar Fellowship. I'm Johnny Nova, and today we're going to go over another cigar that you can find in just about any tobacco shop or any lounge's humidor. And today it's going to be LFD's Suave, La Flor Dominicana Suave. So in 2025, LFD decided to redo this blend, revamp it, whatever you want to call it. And they gave it a red band and they came out with a natural and a Maduro. So I smoked a couple of the naturals. I thought they were pretty good and I thought I'd break them down and share them with you. So as you can see, we got a nice medium brown color, nice red band, a little horse on there, triple cap. It's rolled at their factory in Tamboril. They know what they're doing for sure. And as you can see, it's nice pack filler. Okay, so listen, before they redid this cigar, they had a Suave with the old traditional band, the traditional LFD band. So not to be confused. I'm not sure what the difference in the blend is. I guess I should have looked it up, but I'm just focusing on this cigar. And this is the natural version. So if we break this down, it's basically an Ecuadorian Corojo wrapper. We've got a San Andre binder, and the filler is Dominican long. Robusto, Toro, and Gordo sizes. It's supposed to be a light to medium bodied cigar, and that's what attracted me to it. I read an article on this cigar talking about how they rebooted the blend, and they mentioned it was light. And to me, outside of the Andalusian Bull, I'm not a big LFD fan. So, you know, LFD, I think of like Double Ligero, I think of the Chapter 1, and to me it's harsh for my palate. I know the lounge that I go to, guys love them. They smoke them all the time. It's not for me. I basically stick to the Andalusian Bull when it comes to LFDs. I tried the Knox, had the Chisel, so it's okay. You know, the Paso Fino blew me away. That was fantastic. That was really good. But outside of that, I'm not spending a lot of time in that LFD section, and you may not either, and that's the whole point of this, right? I'm picking cigars that you walk by all the time and you may not want to try or take a chance on, but they're everywhere. Anyway, so to continue on with this, it's a regular production cigar. They also came out with a Maduro. I'll show you, it's a little darker. See the Maduro? It's a pyramid tip. The only difference is, well, big difference. So this one is an Ecuadorian Corojo wrapper. This one is a San Andre wrapper. They both have Dominican long filler. This uses a San Andre for a binder, and this is a Nicaraguan and Dominican binder. This is a different cigar though. So we're focusing on the natural, the Ecuadorian Corojo wrapped natural. So I enjoyed it. I'm always, you know, I was pleasantly surprised because I give the guy credit, but I don't remember where I saw it, but they were discussing how it had a lot of flavor and yet it was still a mild cigar. I smoked two of them before I decided to do this review. I agree with them. It's very good. As you can see, light brown, little red hue, probably from the Corojo, nice band design. So if you smell it, you're going to get a little bit of barnyard, maybe some light baking spice, possibly something sweet. It's a light cigar, but firm, right? Very firm. The cold draw, I use a V-cut 95% of the time. It was clear. You know, I had no doubt they know how to make a cigar. And on the cold draw, I felt like I picked up some raisins, or maybe some apricot and some cedar a little bit. Like that's kind of like what I got on my palate. And then once I got it lit up and it was burning, it seemed to be moving right along, and initial flavor notes would be the cedar. Very pleasant though, not like an annoying woody type cedar, a nice cedar, and some baking spices. The dominant was definitely the cedar. That was dominant. The spice was kind of light. It was a very simple cigar. I feel it was like forming, like I had just lit it. Definitely creamy mouthfeel. Right, the smoke was kind of like light and creamy, and it was a light a light cigar, for sure. It started off very light. On the retrohale, some light black pepper. It was just there. It wasn't overdoing it by any means, but it was present, which is always kind of nice. I like that. Sides of the tongue, a hint of chocolate. I would say for the long finish, definitely the cream was laying there. On the long exhale, when you stop and you wait and you taste your palate, there was some cream, some cedar, and just a little bit of chocolate. The short finish, and a quick exhale, and you taste it, you're gonna get, I would say, some of the cedar and the raisins. Full smoke output, lot of smoke, almost no nicotine. I always mention that in my reviews. It's important to me because sometimes I smoke like at night. I want to relax. I don't like to smoke till I've accomplished something for the day, right? Like when I got something done and I know I earned my cigar, I went to the gym, I got my chores done, I went to work, if I had to work that day, I got some chores done around the house and I can relax and I feel like I earned my cigar. That's kind of like my crazy. So you don't want a heavy nicotine cigar before bed because, you just kind of like, you're lying there. The construction was great. The burn line was perfect. The ash was very light. It was very gentle, but it was holding, But I guess like the cigar's light, the ash was light. Going into the second third, I have my notes here. It was a little flavor development. We've got some nuttiness and a little bit of honey. Look at me, I'm scratching myself like this fucking mosquito. I was in my garage 2 nights ago. This fucking mosquito, it was like a phlebotomist. He's on the fucking vein. Like if he was drawing blood in a hospital, he couldn't have fucking hit it more perfectly. And I didn't even feel it. This guy's ass must have been as fat as mine when he was fucking done eating. And this thing has been fucking itching me like crazy for 2 days. It's insane. Right on the fucking vein. Like, anyway, sorry about that. It stayed medium body. Sides of the tongue, we picked up a little bit of citrus. And some chocolate. I wanted to discuss the citrus thing. So, Dominican long filler. In my exploration of cigars, this is one of the things that I find kind of cool. And another reason why I'm picking these cigars that you guys can get anywhere. Maybe you'll grab one and you watch the video with me and be like, what the fuck's this guy talking about? I didn't taste any of that shit. Or you might be like, oh, I get it. I see what he's talking about. When he says creamy smoke output, like I kind of get that. Or put in the comments, like, let me know. I'm learning too. This is just my, what I'm getting. I picked up some citrus, and whenever I smoke, I find a Dominican Puro or a cigar that has Dominican filler, only Dominican filler. I noticed I tend to get that peel, that like citrus peel, that orange peel on the sides of my tongue. That's what I get. Whether it's a thing or not, I don't know. But to me, that's how I know. Like, obviously it's not 100% sure, but I know if I start tasting that, I'm like, there's a pretty good chance that there's Dominican filler in this cigar. More so than like a Dominican Puro, like I could taste it on a wrapper or something. I feel like when it's in the cigar, that's what I get. I guess it's part of learning and your palate growing. I don't know. That's what we're here for, right? It's a fellowship. We want to explore together. We're exchanging ideas. That's why I want you guys to come back at me with stuff. Let's compare and contrast our ideas. Smoke the cigar with the video. Let me know what you think. So short finish here, I was getting some nuts and honey. And on the long finish, what was staying behind was the cream, chocolate, and some of that citrus peel. Still perfect draw and burn. The ash was still light but solid. And very low on the nicotine. I wasn't getting blasted in the face with crazy nicotine. In the last third, I would say there was a little bit of transitions into some nuts. It introduced a little bit of the nuts, and it was kind of like meshing the nuts, the honey. It was kind of like meshing together. So to me, the final third of this cigar, and it was a Toro, was the crescendo of this cigar. Right? I feel like it was burning merrily. Everything was cooked perfectly. And that's where I think this cigar peaked. In that last third, everything was coming together. I was still getting a lot of smoke output. I was getting a lot of flavor. And at the same time, it was sitting nice. It was stayed at a medium, never passed a medium. It definitely passed light, It wasn't just a light cigar, although I would still recommend this to somebody just starting out. But it was definitely a medium-bodied cigar at this point when it was going good. Retro, the pepper on the retro hair is gone, completely gone. I didn't taste any of that. What I was getting is more of the raisin or apricot on in the back of my kind of throat and in my nasal passages. That's what I was tasting. Sides of the tongue, that bitter citrus peel was still there. On the long finished cream cedar nutshell, and on the quick draw out, still just a little bit of raisins, a touch of chocolate. Full smoke, burn was spot on, construction was perfect, and I never got smacked in the face with any kind of nicotine. It was a really pleasant experience. Listen, you're not smoking this cigar with 130 proof bourbon, right? This is, Sunday morning, you're having a cup of coffee, you're freaking hosing the pollen off your driveway or off your car. A Manhattan Special, a seltzer, a water, something like that. Fantastic cigar. You're going to get a lot of flavor out of it, and it's not going to knock your socks off. It's going to just, it's going to stay like light to medium, but you're still going to have a nice experience with it. It's not going to be like you're smoking air or you're just tasting like, mundane tobacco or cedar. There was a lot of other things that I had mentioned. You're going to enjoy it. So that's all I got for this one. I'm going to bring you another one next week. The plan is to do like one long form breakdown of a cigar and then put out like a short, like a 1 minute short, like on whatever social medias they have there. I'm learning all this stuff now. We're kind of doing this together, but I'm having fun, and I'm not sure what the next one's going to be. I got a couple lined up. I've got a couple of things that I'm thinking about doing. We're going to do other stuff too. Listen, I've got a humidor full of Cubans. I got a humidor full of Opuses. I got all kinds of shit in here. So we can do all kinds of stuff, but I want to do the stuff that you can readily get and smoke along with me so that we can kind of build this fellowship together. We'll see, what we've got, and we're going to learn together. And we're going to not do cigars. We'll go to events. We're going to explore other stuff. But that's it for tonight. And I would like to ask you all to take care of yourselves, stay healthy, do the right thing, and keep your peace. I wish you guys peace.